On BBC Two now, English composer Edward Cowie uses his orchestral work, Leonardo, as the basis for a musical and pictorial journey through the work of Da Vinci, the ultimate Renaissance man. Here on BBC One in 50 minutes, Jim Bergerac has another encounter with Lisa Goddard as the alluring jewel thief Philippa Vale in Return of the Ice Maiden. But right now, Bob says, opportunity knocks.
Thank you. Well, we didn't think you could do it, but you did. You surpassed yourself, Star Makers. Your phone-in vote was phenomenal. You gave us more tinkles than a toddler on Tizer. I think it proves once again there's no business like show business. I know that's a cliche, but every profession has its catchphrases, hasn't it? I mean, for the army, it's old soldiers never die, and for publicans, it's time, gentlemen, please, and for members of parliament, it's not guilty, my lad. I'll tell you something, these programs have taught me about politicians. They can't count. I mean, you all know we only have acts numbered from 1 to 6 on this show, and yet every week, there's David Owen auditioning for number 10. Well, I don't know, there's still no date for the general election, is there? The campaign speeches have started already, then. I don't know about you, I listen to them with a sort of Seven Dwarfs response. You know, the repetition makes me sleepy, and the issues make you grumpy, and the promises make you happy, but if you believe them, you're dopey. They're auditioning for us, those politicians. But as they say in Ireland, it doesn't matter who you vote for, the government still gets in. When it comes to voting for us, you certainly put this series at the top of the ratings. At this week's awards ceremony, I was very thrilled because dozens of showbiz personalities came up and patted me on the back. All except for Ronnie Corbett, and he meant well. And, of course, they all wanted to know which act had won last Saturday, and I'm sure you do, too. Well, in third place, you gave a huge telephonic ovation to the beautiful songbird from Norfolk, Katrina Johns. And in second place, only just ahead of Katrina, that's where your calls put last week's studio winner, the Hot Doris Band. But in the top spot, competing with 5 fresh contenders tonight for the crown, is your number 1 at number 1. Yes, folks, it's Tony Warren.
Is it a kind of a dream, floating out on the tide, following the river of death downstream, or is it a dream? There's a fog along the horizon, a strange glow in the sky.
Thank you. Thank you on behalf of 9-year-old Tony Warren from Ipswich. Act number 1 on this evening's roster, paying her 3rd visit to our show. And look at what's in the shops. Her first recording is already in the shops after appearing on this show only 3 times. She's already got a record out, and it's Ben, the song that she sang on the first time she came, and Bright Eyes, that lovely song by Mike Batt from Watership Down. I remember seeing an advert outside a restaurant in Leighton Buzzard that said, "You love the film, now eat the pie." Every winner can make up to 4 appearances before moving straight into our all-important all-winners final. That way we can give a fairer chance to the very wide range of talents that we've seen on our auditions. Some of the acts were really so good, we gave them a booking. Some were fair, we gave them a recall. Some were not ready, we gave them advice. One fellow was so awful, we gave him a blankety-blank checkbook and pen. If you're looking in, use them in good health, Les. And then there was one happy chap that we snapped up right away because, well, he was really on the ball. And when our cameras went to find him, he was on the ball again.
My name's Ivor Richards, and though I was born in Wales, I've lived in Birkenhead for 7 years now, so I suppose I'm a naturalised Scouse. I'm also a fair squash player, and she's even fairer. I can't stand dieting, so I try and keep fit with a bit of jogging, and of course the odd game of squash. Though I'm beginning to wish I hadn't started this one. I've had a fair number of jobs in my time: farmer, seaman, soldier, plumber, redcoat, hairdresser, and binman, to name but a few. But the business I really want to be in is, what else? Show business. It's got to be better than this. I suppose all the experience I've had has helped me with my career. I hope my performance tonight is better than my performance on this court.
Well, he's back on his feet and bouncing the jokes around. Opportunity knocks now for act number 2, Ivor Richards.
Sut ydych chi, ma'n dda I bod y fama? O, pobl gyd, da chi'n gwybod fama, mae Sŵ Pollard i sefyll y fama, a Les Dawson. I don't know why I'm talking like this for. I left Wales when I was 4. But I'm proud I can speak the language. Well, the Welsh can speak Welsh, the Scottish can speak Gaelic, and the Geordies, well, they can speak Japanese. Come on, you must have seen that new Nissan advert. Well, I've got one of those cars. I was up in Sunderland last week. I took my car in for a service. I heard this Geordie shout over to this Japanese mechanic, "He hini, ho ya hamo, ho here." And the Japs will be taken over. Can you imagine what effect it would have on television? Take sport. Next week we've got the snooker, the World Championship. The commentator, Ted Lowe, in Japanese. And on this show, on this very show last week, we had an impressionist doing Peter O'Sullivan. Well, that'll be next year's Grand National. Followed up by Michael O'Hare. Then it would be the children's programmes. They'd be bringing back John Noakes out of retirement. I've had a lovely day. Do you know what? I was backstage with one of the makeup girls. She said, "Do you get nervous going on television in front of millions of viewers?" I said, "No." She said, "What are you doing in the ladies?" I went shopping. Oh, the sales. All them women. I couldn't move. They were shoving me, prodding me, rubbing their bodies up against me. I can't wait till Monday. I was in this store. I said, "How much are them shirts?" He said, 2 for £20. I said, "How much is one?" He said, 15. I said, "Well, give me the other one." And he wouldn't. I said, "I want the complaints department." He says, "We haven't got one, Baldy." I came out, I went to this Indian restaurant. I said, what can you recommend? He said, you're liking the chicken ding. I said, the what? He said, the chicken ding. I said, chicken ding? He says, yes, you're liking the chicken ding. Speciality, chicken ding. I said, what's chicken ding? Oh, it is very good. It is cooked in the microwave. I want to leave you with a story about this chap goes into a pub. He's got a penguin on his head and a monkey under his arm. He went to the bar, he said, 4 pints of mild and 2 packets of crisps. The barman said, why 4 pints of mild and 2 packets of crisps? And the monkey turned around and said, I told you they're taking over.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you on behalf of Act Number 2, Ivor Richards. A really lovable, funny man. You can imagine how he brightened up our auditions for us, and we needed it that day because we'd had an awful day with the auditions. We'd waited about an hour for this escapologist. It turned out he was locked in the gents and couldn't get out. And then we had some maniac whose act was diving into a tub of quick-drying cement. A hard act to follow. And the last turn of the day was the worst. A raving nutter on rocket-propelled roller skates. And he couldn't switch them off. He auditioned for us in Plymouth, Oxford, Leicester, Grimsby. Last we heard, he was cooling his heels on an oil rig. Meanwhile, we'd gone to Blackpool to film Act Number 3, and he wasn't there. He'd sneaked off to Cheltenham for the day.
Welcome to the Cheltenham Gold Cup. My name's Steve Harvey, and as you can see, I'm a big racing fan. Although these days, the real gamble I'm taking is on my career as a singer. And I can assure you that if I ever do get any prizes, I'd rather earn them with my voice than get them this way. I suppose show business is a gamble, but it shouldn't be this hard to get a bet on. Still, I'm prepared to go the distance, whether the going is light or heavy. I'm very determined, even in snow.
Well, this fellow looks like an odds-on favourite to me. A Birmingham lad from Blackpool with a love for horses and a gift for singing. Opportunity knocks for Steve Harvey.
Show me a reason and I'll soon show you a rhyme. Cats spit on the windowsill, children fiddle in snow. Why is it that I don't fit in anywhere I go? Rivers belong where they can ramble. Eagles belong where they can fly. Where my spirits can run free, gotta find my corner of the sky. Every man has his daydreams, every man has his goals. People like the way dreams have of sticking to their souls. Thunderclouds have their lightning, nightingales have their song. Can't you see I want my life to be something more than long? Rivers belong where they can ramble. Eagles belong where they can fly. I've got to be where my spirit can run free. Gotta find my corner. Seem destined to settle for something small, but I won't rest until I know I have it all. So don't ask where I'm going, listen when I'm gone. Far away you'll hear me singing softly Seagulls belong where they can fly. I've got to be where my spirits can run free. Gotta find my corner of the sky. The
Well, thank you very much on behalf of Act Number 3. Act Number 3 was Steve Harvey. I'm sure that fine performance that he just gave is going to have a positive effect on his career. This show is having quite an effect on mine. Just this morning, I bumped into Michael Grade in the lift, and he smiled at me, and he said, told me to keep up the good work, and he asked me to pass on his regards to Mrs. Dunican. So on to Act Number 4. A young man with a totally original approach to entertainment. Although, when we went to film him, he was following in Father's footsteps.
Hi there, I'm Tracy Hughes, and I live in the West Midlands town of Stourbridge, where I was born 20 years ago. Actually, this is the woodwork shop of my old school Longlands. It was from here that I went on to work for my father's building company. Like father, like son, I adopted the same trade of carpenter and joiner. Oh well, you can't win them all. My main aim, however, is to become a successful entertainer and to be as creative and original as I possibly can. I'm hoping my years of carpentry will help me carve out a career as a performer. After all, on stage, as in the woodwork shop, I'll need a lot of patience, skill, and precision, or I just won't have a leg to stand on.
Well, no clues there to what Tracy Hughes has ready for you, but I think I can explain. Tracy's a sort of well, no, he's kind of a, what he does, he's more of a, oh, listen, you figure it out. As opportunity knocks for Tracy Hughes and the Moppo Crump.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Please do not adjust your sets. I always dress like this. Let me introduce you to the world's rarest animal, Molly the Moppo Crump. Come here, Molly. There she is, Molly the Moppo Crump, all the way from Moppocrumpia. Now, Molly, what are you going to do for us tonight? You're going to do an impression. I see. Well, who's it going to be of then, Molly? Someone from Emmerdale Farm. Ladies and gentlemen, Molly the Moppo Crump's famous impression of someone from Emmerdale Farm. Is that it? Well, who's that? Matt! That's not right! No. What else can you do to entertain the ladies and gentlemen? What are you doing, Molly? You're thinking? Well, hurry up and think. Come on, quickly. You can do a card trick. All right, Molly, I've got some cards. Take them to that lady over there. Which one? The one who's been on television. I see. Well, what did they call her? Interference? That's not funny, Molly. Sorry, this lady over here, can I ask your name, please? Jackie. Say hello to Molly, Jackie, please. Hello. Hello. There we are. Jackie, we've got a pack of cards here. Molly, the trick's happening. Thank you. Would you like to pick a card, please, Jackie? Look at it, but don't show myself or Molly. Molly, no looking. That's cheating. That is cheating. Just take the card face down in my pocket, please. Just stick it up a little bit. Molly, look. Come on, Molly. Back. Come on. I don't care if you don't want to. Back here. Now then, Molly, the lady chose the card. You're going to tell us what card it is. Right. Is it a red card or a black card, Molly? What are you doing now, Molly? You're thinking, well, hurry up and pick. Come on, quickly. It's a red card. Right. Is it a diamond or a heart, Molly? A diamond. And what's the name of the card? The 6 of diamonds. And of course, it is the 6 of diamonds. That's it. Thank you very much, and good night.
Thank you. On behalf of unique act number 4, Tracy Hughes and the Mopocrump. Molly the Mopocrump. I find all the talents on these shows so inspiring because they're utterly dedicated to performing, and that's really what it takes to succeed in show business. You know, did you know this? Every day, Michael Crawford takes 2.5 hours to put on his makeup and look like the Phantom of the Opera. It takes my wife 7 minutes to take off her makeup and look like the Phantom of the Opera. I gave her a treat last week. I bought her a jacuzzi. Got home last Saturday. She said, I didn't find that jacuzzi very relaxing. I said, maybe the water you put in it was too hot or too cold. She said, what water? Act number 5 brings together 4 young men who met as students and discovered they were in perfect harmony on land or water.
Hi, we're the Balfor Chorus. That's me, Robin, Roddy, Paul and David. The 4 of us met while studying at Oxford. In fact, Roddy and I are still there. We sang in the college choir but decided to form a singing group because it got us into the summer parties for free. Whoops, that was close. We're all into sports, but there's very little to do in Oxford except go punting. Now here's another problem. Paul is always getting distracted by the girls. We're constantly looking for new songs to perform, but sometimes Roddy just has to be silenced.
4 likeable young champions here to challenge our other discoveries. Opportunity knocks for act number 5, the Balfor Chorus.
Life had just begun, and now I've gone and thrown it all away. Mama, anyway the wind blows, I don't want to die. Sometimes wish I'd never been born at all. I see a little silhouette of a man. Scatter, scatter, will you do the fandango? Thunderbolt and lightning, very, very frightening me. Galileo, 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 Figaro. Just a poor boy, nobody loves me. He's just a poor boy from a poor family, sparing his life from this monstrosity. Oh, easy come, easy go, will you let me go? Bismillah, no, we will not let you go. Let him go. Bismillah, we will not let you go. Let him go. Bismillah, we will not let you go. Let me go. We'll not let you go. Let me go. We'll not let you go. Let me go. No, 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 no. Mamma mia, mamma mia, mamma mia, let me go. He has the devil put aside for me, for me, for me. Anyone can see, nothing
A cappella, not needing even the help of John Coleman's magnificent orchestra. Thank you for the Balfor Chorus. And if you're listing the turns at home, the lads were act number 5, because so many of you star makers looking in show terrific enthusiasm for the individual merits of each performer. Even my next-door neighbor came around specially and called and said to say to me, "Bob, every Saturday," she said, "I mark all the acts according to value, and last week you came 7th." Sometimes I wish my mother had never moved next door to us. Well, at least I can guarantee a higher placing than that for act number 6. And when you see the glamorous poise of this talented young lady, I believe you'll think it's surprising that to find her, we had to go back to school.
Right, Debbie, can we have you on the trampoline, please?
This is South Hunsley School, near Hull. And that's me, Debbie Stevenson. Gym is my favourite lesson, especially trampolining. My pet hate is maths. Apart from my school lessons, I also study singing and dancing. I was born in Hull, but lived for 2 years in New Zealand. I don't remember much about it, as I was only 2½. Apart from keeping fit and practicing my act, I do modelling in clay and go to our local disco. After school, the first thing I do is meet my dog and take her for a walk. By the way, this isn't a model of Lizzie. And here she is. I know she'll be watching tonight. Wish she could vote.
Oh, I'm sure she'll have plenty of votes in just a few moments. As opportunity knocks for a schoolgirl from Hull who is 14 years old. Debbie Stevenson.
I wanna be loved by you, just you, and nobody else but you. I wanna be loved by you, a tiddly 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 tum, poo poopy doo.
What did you think of that, Samantha Fox?
Yeah, well, she's got a smashing voice, but she'll never match my biggest hits.
Hey, I hope you like poetry, because my next guest is Pam Ayres. Oh, I wish I'd looked after me teeth. Unspotted the gumrot beneath. Now me teeth's black and brittle. I've got green-coloured spittle. Oh, I wish I'd looked after me teeth. And talking of teeth, here's Esther Ranson. We got a letter from a Mr. Dorking of Woking, who recently visited a dentist to have a tooth extracted. Poor Mr. Dorking was given laughing gas, and he didn't stop laughing until 3 days later, when he saw the dentist's bill. I didn't know dentists had bills. This one did. He was a quack. Speaking of birds, here are 3 songbirds. Something in the way he moves attracts me like no other lover. Something in the way he woos me. I don't want to leave him now. You know I believe in how.
Out in the wild and windy moors, we'd roll and fall in free. You had a temper like my jealousy, too hard, too greedy. How could you leave me when I needed to possess you? I hated you and loved you too. Anyone who had a rod below me, I know that I love you, knowing I love you true. Anyone who had a rod would love me too. Anyone who had a rod would simply take me in his arms and always love me. Why can't you?
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of act number 6, Debbie Stevenson, 14 years old, from Hull. Gosh, Debbie's 14 and Tony Warren is 9. They're great, but I can't help worrying about the way TV influences kids. I mean, TV rules my children's very lives. Only last week we had a row about sitting up late to watch Daddy on television. They wanted to go to bed. Once again, our Bob Knox hotline will open up over 500 lines as this show goes off the air at 8:30. And Star Maker, you'll have until midnight tonight to register a vote for your favorite act. All 6 phone numbers, that's 1 for each act, are on today's page of the Radio Times and in most popular newspapers and on page 146 of CFAX. And I'll be back after Bergerac and before the news, that's about 1 hour from now, to display those same numbers on your TV screen. But right now we're going to measure the star value according to the reaction here in the studio at the BBC Television Centre. So, act number 1 was, once again, our 9-year-old songbird from Ipswich, who this week gave us Bright Eyes, Tony Warren.
Bright eyes burning like fire. Bright eyes, how can you close and fair? How can the light that burns so brightly suddenly burn so pale? Bright eyes.
Park it, your usual seat. You have, you've got 78. Oh, who's your favorite pop singer, Tony?
Paul Young.
Paul Young. Yeah, he's marvelous. Who are your friends? Oh, I know who your friends are. You told me about Samantha. What about pets? Have you got a dog or a cat?
I got a bird.
What?
Bird.
What kind of bird? Parrot?
Budgie.
Budgie. What's her name?
What's his name?
What's his name?
Billy.
Billy. Well, Billy's looking in now. Give him a wave. That's a happy Budgie we've got now. And this is one happy Tony Warren. Yeah. Next, we met the Welshman with a Liverpool accent but a universal sense of humour. Act number 2, Ivor Richards.
I was having a drink, this fella walked into the bar. He said, can I have a pint of water? That's your line. He said, fourpence. You give him fourpence. He drank it straight down. He went back up to the bar. He says, can I have a I said, water and that's your line. He said, fourpence, and he's drinking it. I said, what are you drinking that for? He said, if you had what I had, you'd be drinking this. So what have you got? He went, 12 pence.
Ivor, hey, you've got 70, blind 70, 7-0.
That's my favourite number.
It is. Why?
Sweet and sour pork.
Ivor Richards is a very funny man. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Bob.
Ivor?
Lovely. Thank you very much.
Well, now, 78 and a 70, and our third performer this week was Blackpool bachelor Steve Harvey, who tonight delighted our audience with this song from the stage musical Pippin.
Rivers belong where they can ramble. Eagles belong where they can fly. I've got to be where my spirits can run free. Gotta find my corner of the sky. The sky.
Steve, I got to tell you, 86. Oh, I think this audience approved of you. Okay. I must say this because so many people looking in must be saying, who does Steve look like? Who's the fellow in Aha?
Morton Harkett.
That's right, and there's somebody else, Knight Rider.
David Hasselhoff.
Don't you think so? This is the guy who's going to wind up with more fans than any of them. Steve Harvey. Thanks very much, Steve. Steve Harvey. The star value analyzer separates the reaction of the audience so dramatically. We have a 70, a 78, and an 86, widespread. Now, well, we're seeing all sorts of acts on Opportunity Knocks, but I think we'd all agree that our next was as original as they come. Act number 4, Tracy Hughes and Molly the Mopocrump.
Well, I've enjoyed very much being here with you tonight, and I'm sure Molly has too. Molly? What are you doing? You're reading? Well, what are you reading, Molly? Fan mail? Already? Well, Molly, how can you read the fan mail if you've got the letter in your mouth? Look. Let me read it. 2 heads are better than 1. What do you mean you know? What? Molly! Sorry, just take a back. Take a back. That doesn't mean you'll get double the applause. No, look, take a back. No, take a back, like that. Take a back.
Molly, you've got 85. Oh, that's what yes, the studio audience loved you. Yeah, they loved Tracy too. Where did you find Tracy Hughes? What did she say? What did Molly say?
No, that's not Wogan, Molly. No,
not Wogan. No. You know if you saw my wage slip.
Sorry, Bob.
No, it's all right.
Yeah,
where did
Mopocrumpia. A place called Mopocrumpia.
Mopocrumpia.
Big colourful land.
I believe you. Tracy Hughes and the Mopocrump. Wow. A leader, Steve Harvey, with 86, but 1 point ahead of Molly the Mopocrump and her friend Tracy Hughes, and Ivor Richards and Tony Warren close behind. Now, act number 5 could top it all, because these are 4 young men who met as students, and they started making beautiful music together. So let's have a reminder of the quartet that call themselves the Balfor Chorus.
We are the Balfor Chorus. Girls just scream and fall down before us. We sing so loudly, how can you ignore us? We're the 1, 2, 3, Balfor Chorus. We're the
Gentlemen, you stormed our audience. They gave you 96 out of a possible 100. Your star value is 96. Oh, congratulations, because you really did well here in the studio. Oh, and the audience... just to please, fellas, to tell our folks at home, we know your first names now. Which one of you is called Balfor?
Oh, well, we don't have a Balfor.
He's
called Chorus, though.
He's called Chorus. Oh, thank you for clearing the mystery up. The Balfor Chorus, ladies and gentlemen. Wonderful, fellas. Wow, that is a commanding lead. A lead of 10 over 86 Steve Harvey, 96 the Balfor Chorus. That's what's happened here in the studio. But can it be beaten with a 97, a 98, or a 99, or a 100? Our last act tonight was the amazingly professional and proficient 14-year-old from Hull. So be reminded of the talents of act number 6, Debbie Stevenson.
Hey, Gladys. I've been to see the camp doctor. Well? What did he say to you, Peggy? He said I've got 2 weeks to live. Oh. And what did you say? I asked him if I could have the last week in July and the first week in September.
Before I go, I'd like to give a message to my mum back home.
You can put the dinner on. I'll be home in 20 minutes.
Debbie, you've got 98. You're the winner with the audience. Oh. Oh, Debbie. What a thing to happen to you at 14. Oh. When did you start doing voices? How old were you when you started imitating people?
Well, I was very young. I was about 6 when I first started to pick up 1 or 2 voices. But I never actually started doing them in public until I was 10.
Oh, 10. You're nearly washed up by then. And you're 14 now. How old do you want to be? When do you want to give up being in show business?
Look, I'll name the date in my own good time.
Very good. Debbie Stevenson, very good. Wonderful. Look at that. Well, what a fantastic final result, really. I mean, an 85, an 86, and then a 96 and a 98. Oh, once again, we've seen 6 acts new to network TV, and the folks here have elected a studio winner, 14-year-old Debbie Stevenson. But we won't know who'll return to our stage until all your telephone votes have been counted. The lines are about to open for your calls. I'll pop on after Bergerac to display the 6 numbers you can dial. And after that, the BBC's thoughtfully providing me with a young lady to drive me home. Not by car, with a whip. So, until next Saturday, have a great week. Take your chances. And if opportunity comes your way, don't knock it. Bye.